In today's episode, employer steals tips and retaliates after being confronted. What to do? VA. The cheese man. I finally blew up. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Employer steals tips and retaliates after being confronted. What to do? VA. I'm a server/waiter in a small family-owned restaurant. We're less than 15 employees, including the owner, manager, kitchen, and servers. The owner and her brother, the manager, have been forcing us to give them 10% of all our tips at the end of a shift plus 50% of all online order tips, takeout. This happens when they have to cover for a position in the kitchen because they won't pay people enough to work there. I was tipped by a friend that it's highly illegal, and found out that it is highly illegal after calling the Department of Labor. Owners, managers, and supervisors are under no circumstances allowed to keep tips. Only and solely if they are solely providing the service to a guest in the restaurant. I have countless pictures of receipts where their name is, and my name, including the number of tips I've had to give them. I have audio recordings of them admitting everything. Who the owner is, who the sole manager is, that they keep logs/records of everything, etc. I confronted my employer and at first, just wanted to let her know it's been illegal, and it has to stop and we need to get the amounts they've taken back from us. I was recording this and another server was there as a witness. It should be no surprise, but I was surprised. My employer got really angry. She started denying that the manager is a manager, but when I told her she's admitted it, he's admitted it, and everyone knows he is, she admitted it. She then fired me on the spot because I won't help her break the law, and I can't be trusted. After an incredibly conversation with her, she then finished by saying I can't legally fire you, but I'm going to make some serious changes here. She continued to insinuate it's going to be a nightmare to work there. All of this is recorded, logged, and I have a witness who's willing to testify. My coworker called me today and told me that the owner is planning to retaliate severely. She doesn't know how, but the owner has been complaining about me all day. I am absolutely positive I have an incredibly easy case for a lawyer. I have audio recordings with incredibly severe admissions, pictures that prove I've tipped out, a witness willing to testify, etc. Yet I can't find any lawyers who take this case on a contingency basis. I just can't afford a lawyer myself. I really don't want her to get away with this, because she's not going to stop, as she told my coworker when raging about me. She doesn't understand that it's illegal, theft, and whistleblower retaliation. What should I do? Does anyone know anyone in Virginia who practices labor/employment law? I've called so many places, and they only do things non-contingency. I would appreciate any advice. I have no idea what to do now. Update, thank you to everyone that replied. I really appreciate every single post, and I've read them through at least 5 times already. I'm filing a report with the DOL/wage and hour division tomorrow, and then the IRS to see if they can find something because those tips are not reported. But all of ours are, and they're on our pay stubs too. I got a new schedule today where I only work once a week for 3.5 hours. The new packer that I work with is no longer the owner/manager, but someone from their family, so they figured out a way to circumvent that. To clarify, if I make $100 during a shift, $10 of that goes to the packer. Then if I got any tips from online orders, let's say $20, then 50% of that, $10, goes to the packer. This was the owner/her brother, the manager, and now it's going to be one of their family members. I can't just find a new job because I don't have a car, and this place was 10 to 15 minutes away on foot. I'm going to financially struggle for a long time due to this now, sad face. But it warms me knowing I stood up for something, and my other coworkers will eventually get their stolen money back too. The Cheese Man. Hi, I'm back. This one left me bewildered, which is a welcome change from the guests who make me angry, so I thought I'd share. This happened yesterday while on my bartending shift. Some background that is important to the story: our to-go counter used to be right beside the bar. About 3 months ago, we renovated, and now the to-go counter is in its own dedicated room near the front doors of the building. Sometimes people still come to the bar to order to go, and we direct them to our fancy new to-go room. A middle-aged man with sunglasses approached the end of my bar. I ask him, "Are you dining in or ordering to go?" He says he is ordering to go, so I show him which way our to-go room is. He furrows his forehead like it was a personal offense that I wouldn't take his to-go order. "Oh, I'll dine in," he says. "Okay. No problem, people change their minds all the time." So I gather a silverware roll, a napkin and straw and start reaching for my menus and ask, "All right, what can I get you to drink?" He says, "I need a menu." Again, no problem. I set down all the menu in front of him. Immediately, he pops off with, "I just had my eyes dilated, I can't read the menu." So I list our soft drinks, sweet or unsweet tea or lemonade. No response, so I told him to let me know when he is ready. As I'm greeting another guest about to sit down, he interrupts and says burger, fries, milkshake. No subject, no verbs, not even a complete sentence, no manners, we know the type. I make my way back to him and apologize that we don't serve milkshakes, but I'm happy to get him a Coke or tea. He goes with tea. I send in the burger and fries, and it comes out. He doesn't even look at the food before saying I need mayo. Again, no problem, I'm off to the kitchen to get some mayo. I come back around and drop it off, and without so much as a pause he says, "More cheese." This time I blinked at him in surprise and said yes, sir, and went back into the kitchen to grab a slice of cheese as requested. I don't even get one step away from the man after setting down his cheese when he shouts that the cheese is supposed to be melted. What exactly was I supposed to melt it on? The plate? He didn't give me the burger to take back, and we also do not have microwaves, so was my grill cook supposed to melt it on the flat top and scrape the melted cheese goo into a ramekin? Did he expect me to do that while I had 4 other guests at the bar? And how would I have known he wanted it melted when all he said was more cheese? These are the thoughts that raced through my mind as I stared at him in confusion. I blinked at him again, this time deliberately, and cocked my head and repeated melted? If he won't communicate in complete sentences, neither am I. Why many words when few do trick, you know? He gets mad and says never mind, I'll just leave. I guess he thought I was going to challenge him or ask him to stay. But he had only taken one bite of food, and I only had 10 minutes of my shift left, so I said all right. Have a nice day. As he got up to leave, I threw away his food in my trash can. This made him angrier, but I didn't care. He eventually left without even getting a to-go order, and I hope he never comes back. Was throwing his food away wasteful? Yeah, but it's not like we could replate and reuse it. EW. And I certainly wasn't going to give it to him for free. So it goes in the trash can right in front of his face. I told my manager about the strange cheese man, and she didn't even question me, just comped the meal ticket after he left. I finally blew up. I've never posted to Reddit before, but I've been working at this place for over a year, currently 17F, and am full of stories about these folks. Backstory. I'm head server at an independent living retirement home, and the only remaining server out of at least 3 crews, mainly in high school / just out, so they go off to college or find better jobs, but I've stuck around. There are around 130 residents that live here, and we get anywhere from 20 to 40 people that come for dinner each night with 3 to 4 servers. We have 11 tables which each seat 6, and by now I've learned who sits with who / all of their cliques. All of the regulars love me and are always complimenting me and telling me how good of a server I am and how lucky they are that I'm still here. On to the actual story dash. Within the last couple of weeks, we had 5 7th servers out with COVID or quarantining from exposure. Myself and one other were the only ones who were able to continue working. Because of this, we did simple buffets for 3 days instead of a 2-entree choice dinner like normal. We had all paper products to cut down on dishes. I was scrambling around helping my manager set up the buffet line, when a resident goes up to her all flustered about the buffet not being ready yet. The dining room was full of people patiently waiting for the lids to come off, and my managers who are watching this woman. She is well known, especially in the kitchen, for having everything go her way, and she will raise hell if something isn't to her standards. I'm still trying to get everything ready, so I'm keeping an eye on her and listening to what my manager is telling her, but keeping myself out of it. After my manager goes back into the kitchen, she starts helping herself to the cold items: lettuce, tomatoes, everything you'd want in a taco bar. I don't say anything to her, but tell my manager, who basically can't do anything about it. I grab something from a storage closet down the hall, and when I round the corner, I see that 2 of her friends had joined her. This is when I say something. I say very, very loud, and I'm already a louder person: "We are not open, this is very rude of you to do." The other 2 back off, but the woman, who is now peeking underneath the lids of hot stuff, comes over to me and proceeds to scream at me and tell me I can't call her rude, and how dare I call her rude, while I'm just standing there in disbelief. I was going to just leave it at what I said initially, but I have a pretty short temper for being yelled at, so I just kept saying how rude she was being, and that we worked so hard to put this together just for her to do this. The dining room is silent. I turn and basically run through the kitchen, where she is already berating my manager about what I said to her, to the bathroom, and just sit on the floor and cry for a solid 10 minutes, wasn't having a good day as it was. As I'm washing my face off, my manager knocks and comes in, and just hugs me, and tells me she loves me, and to take as much time as I need, and to just stay in the kitchen for the rest of the night, and do stuff in there. I didn't leave the kitchen until everyone was gone except to grab a few soups for my tray requests, residents getting their din-din delivered, but she was very loudly complaining about me for the rest of the night. The kicker is, apparently she waited for the director of the home to come in the next morning and complained about me for 3 hours, I was told, as well as to anyone who would listen. Not many, as the staff knows her antics, but word has spread throughout the entire building, and now everyone knows, and people keep coming up to me and asking if I'm okay, and saying their little piece about her. This is just the most recent of many stories I have about this job. Some of them are good though.